The summer might be coming to an end, but miracle knots are here forever. So let me show you how I make my miracle knots work for me on my fine hair. I had seen Ywigs all over my FYP and I decided to give them a try, and I was not disappointed with the quality of the hair. I didn't want to be boring. I really wanted to bleach the ends like a different color, and you'll see at the end. But after bleaching this hair twice, the curls were still intact. Watching what feels like 101 tutorials on how to do miracle knots, I didn't come across anyone that had fine or thin or short hair. So I had to do mine a bit differently, and what I did was add expressions to, one, thicken up my hair but also make it a bit longer, so that when I add my miracle knots there's less tension on my scalp and also just a bit of length. I did 5 rows on each side from my center to my side, and then I had 6 rows at the back. So the first thing that I did was finish braiding my natural hair, or the braid, with the miracle knots. So super easy to do. All you need to do is just unravel it a little bit, add your miracle knots back in, and then yeah, that was it. It did start to unravel and I don't like that look, so I went back in and I added nail glue to secure the braid from unraveling. I don't know about you guys, but I have not found a gel that works for my hair. As you guys can see, I literally just go in and braid my hair as naturally as possible. I literally wash, condition and use a bit of oil, and that usually does the trick. However, I am open to trying gels, but it needs to work for hair that's fine, for hair that's on the thinner side, without weighing it down. Naturally, there are loads of different ways to add your miracle knots into your hair, but I have tried and I have tested these 2 methods, and these are the ones that I would recommend. If you prioritize ease and comfort, do this method. So the first method is you're gonna stick your crochet needle through your hair, open the latch, hook the hair onto that needle, pull one side through, only one side, okay? Then you're gonna wrap your hair, or wrap the miracle knots around the braid, maybe like twice, and then you're gonna measure about 1 inch down from the first placement of the miracle knots. Open the latch and pull one side of the miracle knots through, close the latch, boom, there you go. That's all you have to do. This way is really fast, so if you're gonna add like 2 or 3 pieces of miracle knots into one braid, this way is really easy. And also, when you're taking down the hair, it's a lot easier to take out. If you're gonna challenge yourself to add a knot into your hair, that's entirely up to you. Let me know how that goes, because I know that this style is called miracle knots, but we actually don't want to knot the hair. We really just want to make it look like, you know, there's fullness and there's volume, and doing it this way, it kind of spreads the hair out a lot more evenly than other methods that I've seen. So yes, it's miracle knots, but no, we do not want the knot. And if you're in the same boat as me, as in like you have fine, short or thin hair, then this is all the more reason to thicken your hair with some expressions, because as I was adding the miracle knots into my hair, I did have to tug a little bit, and sorry, I'm not going to do that to my hair. I can't do that to my hair. Alright, this hairstyle is, I wouldn't say it's the most protective, but it's probably the most like laid back type of hairstyle I've had. I'm able to wash my scalp, and my hair's like not being manipulated too much. It is to an extent, but it's not as much as other hairstyles. So yeah, it's another reason why I really love these miracle knots. I did not add miracle knots at the back because 1, the hair is curly, 2, I don't want any like knots or tangles on my neck, so I just added like literally 1 or 2 at the back, because I was really prioritizing volume as opposed to length. And going around, I literally only added 1 miracle knot to the braids. For the second crochet method, this one requires a little bit more patience, because you're going to stick your crochet needle through your braid, open the latch, hook one side of the miracle knot and pull that through. Then you wrap your hair, or you just pull it to one side. Then you'll find about 1 inch down from where you started, wrap the hair around the crochet needle. You're going to close the latch, but you're pulling through both sides of the miracle knots through the braid. In my opinion, they're both really good methods, but I would say the second method means that you're going to go through an extra pack of hair because the miracle knots is not evenly distributed, and because it's so concentrated, you'll need like maybe 2 or 3 per braid for it to look really full. Whereas the other method, you can get away with like using 2 and the fullness will cover you. So it just depends on what your preference is, how long you have to actually do your hair, but either way, either method works really well and they're both really secure, and that's the key thing. I don't want to find one of my miracle knots on the floor. No, sorry. I want secure, I want length, but also volume, and if I have to go through more packets, that's fine, but that's what I'm prioritizing. And yeah, these 2 methods are KK. My hair was looking so full and I was loving the shape that it was taking. So I wanted an like just big afro type of like curly hair. And that's what I was kind of getting at. And then I was going to add a couple like framing layers at the front anyway, but I was really happy with how the hair was coming along. This took me, honestly, it took me like 2 days to do, but I was like in between work and then just doing it in my spare time. Don't ask me how I went to work, please. But I just had to do it. Anyway, this is how I did the front. The same method applies. I think I did the first method. I take the crochet tool, needle, I stick that through my braid, I open the latch, I pull the one side of the miracle knots through, wrap the hair around the braid like once or twice just for it to be secure. Like you want to finish the entire thread so there's no thread coming out. Stick your crochet needle back through your braid, open the latch, add the miracle knots onto that hook, close the latch, pull your hair through, boom, bam, bing, it's done. It's that simple. It's really quick. Emphasis on quick. And I think low-key, like where people are again getting this wrong is they're adding a knot that they can't unravel, they can't take down, and I think they're not taking into account how soft their hair can be, and you do not want to weigh down hair that's too soft or hair that's too fine, because it will just add tension problems onto your scalp and leave you with issues that you didn't have when you started. So just take that into account when you're doing this. Like this hairstyle is great because it's easy to do, but just because it's easy doesn't necessarily mean that it's best that you follow someone who doesn't have the same hair type as you. So I always take into account, does this person have like the same fullness, thickness, fineness as me? If not, I will find a way myself, but I'll just try to look for people who have similar hairstyles as me. I tried to finish the 5 packs of hair, but I literally only went through 3, and that was more than enough for me. Like this is 3 packets, happy with that. Also, I was bored of black and it's summer, so I really wanted to like do something a bit fun. So I tried to like dye the ends a different color, and I went pink, and then I didn't like that I only did the ends. So I tried to like wash out the pink and I was left with this like dull pink. I still really loved it, but yeah, that wasn't my vision. Anyway, this is how the hair looks. I love how it's come out. And if the tutorial has been useful to you, please like and leave a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.